Hey, I'm Matthew from ludobox.fr, and today I'm going to give you an overview of Huns. So Huns is a management game in which you are a Hun tribe and you want to be the next big Khan. So it is a management game for 2 to 4 players ages 14 and up, and it plays for around 45 minutes. So what is Huns about? It's about basically collecting resources, which are those cubes, to ship these cards, and they award you with victory points. You can also earn victory points with the cards here. I'm going to go over them later in the explanation. So Huns is played in a series of rounds, and every player during a round is going to take one action at a time, taking a die. And once there are no more dice, we're going to move the first player token, re-roll all of the dice that are in front of the players and place them in front of the cards. So that ensures that everyone will take the average same number of actions during the game. So let's imagine it's my turn. I am the first player, I'm going to select a die. For example, I'm going to take this red 2 and I put it in front of me. Now I have a choice. Either I take as many resources, so 2 resources in that case, and I place them on my cards or my black or green cards. The other thing I can do is draw as many cards as the dice says, so 2 cards. I will keep one and I discard the other and place it on the bottom of the deck. And this card gives me a power. So I'm going over them now. So what the cards do is that they give you in-game benefits or end-game benefits, or both. So blue cards manipulate how the game works. So they give you powers like manipulate how the cube works, how you get the cubes, manipulate the decks. So they ease the game for you, but at the same time they don't provide you with endgame benefits. The red cards are more aggressive. They are cards in which you're going to take resources from your opponents, from the supply. You're going to bypass some rule limitations. And when you get a red card, it doesn't have any ability, but you can trigger its ability by turning the card sideways once per game. So once per game per card. If I had a second card, I could flip it as well. Green cards are mercenaries, and mercenaries have a contract you have to fulfill before they give you the power. Once you have put as many resources there as they are slots, you gain their ability and victory points. And these abilities are extremely powerful and give you an edge over the game, so you want to trigger them as soon as possible. But on the other hand, you spend resources doing nothing for your cards, so you might think about it. Black cards are essentially bad mercenaries for other people. When you draw black cards, you're going to give them to other people. And this gives them an additional limit, an additional rule to follow. And this is not good for them because it may really hinder them, but they can pay resources to ignore it. So once they feel the meter, they can ignore that card, but they can also flee by just flipping the card. And this gives them negative victory points because they fled the threat and the menace, and this is not harmful. And finally, we have yellow cards. This yellow golden cards, they are meant to give you points at the end of the game if you fulfill a special condition. So for example, if you have the most red cards, the most blue cards, the least blue cards. So they are going to give you an extra way of playing, but it's going to give you more points at the end of the game. And there is something, it's that they do nothing for you inside of the game. They are strictly end game things. So if I take resources, like I'm going to take my 2 resources here, I may place them either on my cards or on the cards. So I could do this, for example, and if I had any excess, it's lost, it's put back here. In this case, I had 2 red slots to fill, so that's okay with me. So now filling the cards. It's really important to fill the cards because you're going to be able to ship them and to renew them, and this is worth a lot of victory points. If I fill a card somehow, I'm going to put all of the resources here, not in the supply. And then I'm going to take my card to ship it, to take a new card from the river, to replenish the river, and then I've taken a new card, so I have a new mission. So the game will go on until one condition is fulfilled. So the conditions to meet is basically emptying a stack of cards or a stack of resources. Once one of all of them is empty, the game end triggers. We finish the round, we take all of the dice, and then we tally the points. To count the points, you're going to add up the points for these cards. So blue do not give you any points because they give you in-game benefits. And then you're going to count the number of cards that you get and also the diversity of the cards. So there is a tiny collection aspect with the cards, which might give you an edge if you are a very experienced Huns player. That's it for the basic rule of Huns. The best player is the one with the highest score, and as you may notice, you want to block opponents by taking the dice they want, by also triggering aggressive abilities against them at the best time. So this is a game where you have to build your engine with those cards, but also think about the end game and think about aggressivity if needed. So bye-bye, and see you on LudoChrono.fr.